Actually, and actually, I've been complaining about the Julians and the Julian affiliates and the uh, sugar daddies of the long lost love coming around since about 2008. The summer of 2008, the early winter of 2008, say like about February 2008, spring break, February 2008, they start showing up at the parties from the cliques that I was joining. You know, the men that are back from Iraq and Afghanistan undercover as high school students playing beer pong, and cleaning up by accordance neighborhoods that have fallen, and etc., with other sort of deals. And they'd show up with, let's say, hardcore narcotics, unlawful pornography, multiple partners paid for, such as the prostitution and etc. Like I said, they've been in and out of jail, and I don't know if they're here on some kind of weird, strange visitation or some kind of, well, I heard from them, and this might be nice if we just put out a little gang hit or beat him or rob him or something, as in like trick him into taking his money or trick him into, and then we'll have our way as far as the sensual pleasure, etc. And I've seen it all. They've been coming in hordes and numbers since the graduation. They all had cars, they all had money, and then there was the one Queen Princess, who was a family friend I shared the same crib with, learned irregular ordinary up until 2005, and maybe even managed to make a new life form with in 2002. And they know that. They know all of this, and they know, family ties, even if it's not a kid sibling with blood. She'd be just like my sister if she wasn't so rude, evil, as far as since 2008, none or less. I started, I went to Sailfest, I went to a friend's house, and this is in previous chapters. They passed her around in front of me, and I didn't get any. And then they sent me home with no shoes in the trunk of a car. And then I went home, and they said, "Wow, you look like you've been by hell." And I couldn't even tell the whole story, but it was all about this girl that was making fun of me because she liked me. So now she tells everyone, well, I like him. And after they have their way with her, she has their way with them, vice versa, back and forth, mutual agreements and evil. She winds up breaking the violations of restraining orders, the regulations of restraining orders anyway. If she was in a wheelchair with a diaper, fresh out of the correctional facility, she is 100% mentally handicapped, by the way, etc. Um, in some kind of program rehabilitation, for criminal actions, and had like a social worker with her so I could, legitimate visitation time would be much better than, well, I heard from this and that, so we're going to send a few gang rider yardies on Team Julian to spook the parkies at 3:30 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, almost 6 in the morning, because of rumors and hearsay that she probably passed on to make her feel better about public harassment via Suicide Girls concert and etc. So, the next show that I'm scheduled for is next March, as far as a mandatory on Wishes of I. It's Melvin Seals, A Space About a Week, and then 3 Days Phil Lesh, Capitol Theater, Port Chester, New York, Garcia's Bar, East Coast, home of the Grateful Dead.